Morning, everybody. So I'm going to do all of my stuff in the background here so that I can watch myself and see the comments. And see who is up and about to join me this morning. So as always, when you get in here, say hi. If you watch the replay, please give me a hashtag replay, ask any questions or make any comments that you want. And if you have questions, I will answer them. And if you have comments, I will respond back. And hopefully the comments are working today. It's about 50-50 these days, it seems. So today we're going to be working with the Gleaming Ornaments punch pack. And I put off buying this one. I wish I had gotten it a lot earlier than I did because this thing, everything in here is so freaking cool. All right, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and flip the camera around. Kitties are all being really quiet. Hazzie's insulin schedule has like twisted to 4 a.m. So I've been up for a while, kind of. Let's see some other things that I noticed this morning when I was up and about. The joint project that Katie and I are doing with all of you. Yes, please take that away. We're doing different coffee this morning because we both decided that this flavor isn't great. So life's too short for bad coffee. The recipe project that we're doing. So there's only like 4 recipes in each of the categories right now. So remember to drop your recipes in there. I know we all have recipes because we share yummy stuff in here a lot. So I need to take the time to get my yummy recipes in there, and so does Katie, although she kind of has an excuse where she has a bad hand right now from her surgery, so we'll cut her a little bit of slack. But I know I've just been plain slacking, and I apologize for that. I will get my recipes in there. And I invite you guys to please get your recipes in there too, so that we can make our recipe books and then give them away. What else did I notice in there? I don't know. I'll probably think about it when we get started, and we'll just talk about it then. All right, so I'm gonna flip the camera around here and get all my controls. All right, so you can see all of the awesomeness that is on my desk right now. The punch pack itself comes with 2 punches. One is this beautiful long ornament. The other one is this kind of ovally teardrop ornament. And this one is about 2 inches. This one is about maybe 1.25 inches. Set those aside. This is the stamp set, the Christmas Gleaming stamp set. This is one of the red rubber stamp sets, and it's very, very detailed. So we will be using that. And to me, a lot of this just screams for embossing. So I brought our gold embossing powder. We're going to be playing with that. And then look at the DSP in this pack. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's so gorgeous. There are, get it folded out here. Come on. All right. So this is kind of a coppery rose gold. Yeah, you can see it kind of shimmering there. And then on the other side is a pattern without the metallic. So let me show you what each of these look like. And I brought the gold powder to work with this because I think it will go best. I think it'll go better with it than the silver metallics. This is another shimmery foil, and this is the back side of that one. This beautiful peacock color. And then we've got a geometric and a stripe. And then this one is so amazing. This is all little ornaments on it. I just want like a whole roll of this in wrapping paper right now. Here's another geometric in the Mossy Meadow without the metallic. Metallic Night of Navy with stars. Geometric Night of Navy. And then there's kind of a flirtily-ish pattern in the peacock and the shimmer. And this one is Holly Sprigs in the peacock and vanilla. So it's going to be hard to choose what we're going to work with today because they are all so gorgeous. And even Cole's standing here with spaghetti lips and sparkly eyes. We may have to get a second pack of this paper. And he's nodding.
I don't think that one's going to last very long.
I don't think it's going to last very long either.
Not that we fight over stuff, but it's really pretty.
Okay, so I think I know that I want to work with this one today. And we'll pick another one, I think, as we go, but I definitely want to work with those ornaments. I don't know, this one's kind of calling to me too. Or do we want to work with one of the peacocks? Do we go with the vanilla or the navy? I'm thinking this one, these two together. Because I know you're going to want to work with the greens, huh? He hates talking on camera. Even though he's standing right here. Morning, Heather.
I'm trying to grow as a person.
We love that you're trying to grow as a person. Okay, so the coordinating colors with this are Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, and Pretty Peacock. And I do not have the stamp pad for that, so we're going to use a marker if we use the peacock. I also do not have Night of Navy in cardstock, but Blueberry Bushel I think is going to coordinate very nicely with it. So when you get something that says these are the coordinating colors, you can use your best judgment on that. If you hold something entirely different up to it and it's like, wow, I really like that together, use it. Because you are not, it's not a rule. You don't have to use what they say, or what I say, or what anybody says. Here's our Mossy Meadow, and I just brought everything that I had that coordinated, so that we could be all ready. And I'm kind of thinking that I want to do this card in Pretty Peacock, and then I'm going to show you how to do the inside the writing panel separate, because we haven't done that yet. So I'm going to make our card base out of this Pretty Peacock. And I've got a few cards like planned out in my head. We'll see how many of them we get through today. Heather says, good morning. She's never met or even seen Cole. He's a mystery man.
They do exist.
That made him chuckle, and he says, I do exist. one of these days, maybe we'll get him to pop over here on the camera side of things, and y'all can see that he really does exist. And that's him laughing about that comment in the background. So maybe not. Why am I putting this away? All right, so we're making our card base out of our pretty peacock. And Yoda, good morning, Yoda. He knows that I'm live. He is such a little attention seeker. He loves to go live. He's just standing just right over here. You might be able to see his foot. I don't know. Okay, so I think I want to cut this down into something that's a little more manageable. I'm kind of thinking using it as the background on our card base. So that would be 5 1/4. Let's go ahead. And this, okay, so we're gonna go 5 1/4 this way, 4 1/4, because we want to pay attention to which way our ornaments are going, because we don't want them going sideways or being wonky. And then we want a 4-inch. All right, Yoda, come on. You're over the top now. This is why it's cards and coffee with my crazy cats. And you never know when we're going to get a guest appearance. Okay. So I really like that. Oh, I got some fraying. Could you grab me a new blade for this, please?
They're just over here on the shelf.
Yeah, they are. Let's see if we can get that unfuzzed. And then we'll switch blades in it. So the blades do come in a pack of 4. And they are... They are just a little triangle knife blade, but they do get dull, especially with cardstock and cutting foils. And Cole and I share this paper trimmer, so it sees a lot of action. Thank you. And there's the old one. And the way that these go back together, there is a little bit of, right here, there's a little bit of an opening. So you just find that it slips right in, and then it's back in the track again. And I think I got this unfuzzed enough that we'll be able to use it just fine. Okay. All right, so there's our background panel. And then let's, okay, so we actually cut 2 of the, I only embossed one, or scored one of them though. So let's go ahead and score the other one, because I think we're gonna have time for 2 cards. I would love for him to guest spot. That would be so much fun, because he makes beautiful cards too. All of the ones that are on our website that I didn't make, those were his. And he has done some absolutely amazing things with that curvy pack that I taught last week. And yeah, I wish. And he is listed as a co-demonstrator with me. So it's not like he's not actually part of this. He is. Okay, I'm going to cut another one of these at 4 inches now that we've got a new blade on here. Oh, so much nicer. All right, and then what I'm going to do with this one is actually cut it in half. From corner to corner. we're going to use a half. Save that for another card. Let's go ahead and cut down this one to our 5 1/4. And then 4. And we're also going to cut this one in half. Then we're going to do something like this on that card. Alright. Now I think it's time to play with some cardstock and our punches. These punches are so cool. Green. Maybe even, maybe even bring our vanilla in there. So let's play with the green and when I'm saying green, I'm actually meaning Mossy Meadow. So our punches are about 1 3/4 inches. I think we'll cut our cardstock at 2, just so that we. Now we have strips that we can cut with our punch. All right, so we're just going to cut a few of each of these. I love how they pop up too. It's fun. It's the little things, you know. One of the things we might want to do first, because I want to emboss these. Okay, so let's cut a couple of those. Now let's go back and stamp some so that we can emboss them. See, I'm just trying to get ahead of myself here. All right, I did not bring a stamp block today. What happened? I don't know. I think that our D-block is going to work for just about everything. Yeah, it does work for everything that's in there. All right. Morning, Erica. How are you? We are playing with Gleaming ornaments today. And we're going to do some embossing. Because shiny stuff. Okay, so we're using our Versamark watermark ink. And we'll do a couple of those. I do need a bigger table. Of course, I don't think I know anybody who says, oh, my crafting table is just the right size, or it's It's way too big. See, that even made Cole laugh.
It's like that feathered serpent from Fantastic Beasts where you take up as much room as you have.
Yeah, exactly. And his crafting table, seriously, is the size of this pad. I don't know how he does it. It amazes me every time I see him work. But that's the space he has, and that's the space he uses. Because am I going to share my big table? No. You just got through making cards too? Yeah, I think there's a lot of us making a whole mess of cards right now. It's that time of year. Which set have you been working with? Heather, you've been doing a whole mess of cards too. I love the ones that you did for our crafting night with the tag buffet. That was so fun. I'm glad I closed that up. We're still using it. Oh, you have a 2-foot table to craft on too? I'm so sorry. You deserve a bigger space. Cole deserves a bigger space too. And yes, he's standing here and heard me say that.
I like little spaces. It works out.
Good. All right, let's emboss these because embossing is fun. So I have this sheet of copy paper that I folded in half, and this is what I dump my embossing powder on. And you can tell I've used it to test stamp images too. All right, now if you get any of the little staticky bits, and today we're really not having too much trouble with that, but the way I get around it, and there are like little, when Mom was painting, she called them pounces, and they're filled with cornstarch or other things. But I find that if I just tap it really well, that I get all of that stuff to go away. But if you don't want to deal with the tapping, or if you're not able to tap it hard enough or whatever, there are little bags out there that are filled with stuff that are anti-static. So you can use those as well. Just be careful. The ones that are filled with baby powder have a tendency to get all over everything. All right, so this one has some staticky areas, so we're just gonna give that a good flip. And then if there is anything left, if it's far enough away from your design, you can just scoop that with your finger, or you can use one of your soft watercolor brushes, which I have sitting here. If it's too close, you can just kind of scoop in next to that, and the brush will pick it up for you. And I want to show you too, if you get too close with your brush and you go into your image, don't worry about it, because you can come back through here give it some more powder, and you're good to go again. All right, Heather, I don't know how much of the embossing stuff that you missed on your phone call, but I just gave some tips for some of the things that you and I were talking about, problem solving. So go back and catch that. All right, set that aside, put our powder back in our jar.
Have you found that the different embossing powder colors behave differently with static?
Yes. My favorite one to work with is the white because it doesn't seem like static really affects it. I think that the little polymer pieces are heavier, and so it breaks its own static bonds. But the gold, this one, is the one that I have the most trouble with. And today it's behaving really nicely. All right, so I need to unplug the computer for just a minute because I only have 2 outlets.
Well, wait here. Let me have the extension cord. Look, it's long enough. You can
Oh,
do it
okay,
on
good.
your side.
See, I'm glad he's here. He's being useful. He's plugging me into a different outlet so that I can have a light and the computer and the embossing bin.
You can have it all.
I can have it all. All right, so you're gonna hear noise while this heats up. And I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love watching embossing powder melt. It's like one of my favorite simple joys to just watch all of that pretty spread. It's mesmerizing. So shiny. It's a little bit harder to see on the vanilla, but you still can see it work its way across. You just have to catch the light right. Now we can punch these out. How's the new coffee coming over there? Oh, yay. Thanks. All right, so I'm going to cut these apart so that we can get them in our punch. And I love that you can, you know, kind of get them in there the way that you want them before you punch. And if we had bigger paper, because, you know, I was trying to be conservative and thrifty, then we wouldn't have to worry about that, but it's all lined up just fine. Pop. The embossing actually gives me a little bit of purchase that I can kind of push it around in there. That's awesome. Yep, too much. I love a challenge though. There we go. There's a little bit left in there from last time too. Yeah. All right, make sure everything's out of your punch, girls. And there's still a little bit left in there. There we go. All right, then we have some green ones. And these are going to be easier because I actually stamped them the right direction to be able to just tuck them in here. Morning, Jen. How are you? Yeah, and Cole just uncapped my take a pic tool and kind of waved it in my face. Because, yeah, I could have totally used the putty into that, but I didn't, you know, because, you know, challenges are fun sometimes.
Because you have many skills and you didn't need it.
All right, on to this one. All right, so let's try Cole's idea. Just kind of move that around. That does work pretty good, babe.
It does.
Yeah. And then we need to get our paper out of there so that we can do our next one, which is, there it is. We stamped with Versamark and then we heat embossed. And Cole's been hanging out with us this morning. He's here in the background. And we've been talking about how awesome it would be if he would guest spot one of these days. Because he makes beautiful cards and everybody wants to see what he has to say and teach too. And now he's gone completely crickets. Okay, pause for coffee or tea, whatever you're drinking this morning. Excuse my reach, put the paintbrush back. All right, so here's what you guys missed earlier. We are working with the Gleaming Ornaments pack. We've got some DSP cut for that card, some DSP cut for this card, and then we have our beautiful ornaments. And I'm kind of thinking, because we have all of the swirliness going on this one, I want that one there. And this one, we're just going to hang ornaments all over the place. And I actually have some of the gold twine from the paper pumpkin kit. This is, no, it's not from the paper pumpkin kit. This is from Tag Buffet. Heather, you probably have some of this left too. Morning, Terry. It's nice to see you. How are you doing, hon? And we're going to make our ornaments look like they are hanging from our banner that we still need to cut. Or maybe we'll just wrap it around this. I don't know. Let's see what we like for our ornaments. If you guys want to join in, I'm going to raise all these with dimensional dots. And then I think we just want, you know what? The more I get to looking at it, I think I want to do something totally different with this one, but I really want to forge ahead with the ornaments. And I don't want to work with that piece there. So we're going to set that one aside, pick something different to be the background for our ornaments. Let's grab our papers. You know, because changing everything in midstream is fun sometimes. Cole has left the building. He went outside to, I think there was too much estrogen in here. He was starting to feel pressured. But, you know, baby steps. We haven't got him to even hang out with us. So I thought that was really good. Ooh, maybe the stars. How would they look against the stars? I'm thinking we probably want something pretty simple. And I'm kind of drawn to the stripes with those. What do you guys think? Yeah, and the wind is blowing and it's like, it might be a couple degrees above freezing, so outside was, if he felt outside was his better option than hanging out here with us, he was feeling a little pressured. And that's funny. So Terry, if you are still here, the backstory on Cole is that he is actually a co-demonstrator with me, and he makes absolutely gorgeous cards. But you remember from school how artistic he was. So, yeah, we've been trying to get him to do a live, and we haven't been doing a very good job of convincing him yet. Okay, I think I like that much better. And we're just going to hang some ornaments all over the place. And this one's just getting one. Now we need sentiment bars. What shall we do? I really think I want to emboss this Merry Christmas because it's going to be like a big gold bar, maybe across the top of that one. And maybe deck the halls on this one. I think he will warm up, yeah. He's really intimidated by the camera, but I'm not on camera right now. I keep trying to to show him that, you know, you're only on camera for like 30 seconds. And I would even do the introduction and then flip the camera around and then he could do his thing. We'll just have to keep just chipping at him. I'm looking for pieces of my cardstock that I've already cut. I know I have some. There it is. All right, let's do, and I want to emboss those too. So today's all about the embossing apparently. And I did not have that plan going into this session. You know, some days are just like that. They happen the way they happen. Thanks, Heather. We are kind of an artistic family. My mom taught painting for years, and she wanted me to do that with her. There was an art store here in our town that was for sale, and she tried to convince me for the longest time to buy it, and then she would teach, but I wasn't ready to be tied to a business at that point in my life. And it's one of the things I look back on now, and I really wish that we had done that, because I think that time together with her would have been amazing. And now she helps me in my store out here. So we do still get that experience, just not with her being able to teach the painting classes, which she doesn't want to do anymore. She's retired from that too. And here's my embossing powder. Hey Abby, welcome. Glad to see you this morning. How you doing? We are hanging out and making some cards, playing with the Gleaming Ornaments punch pack. These are the punches in the punch pack. This is a set of 2. And there's the large one and the smaller, more oval, squat one. And so we stamped, embossed, and then cut out our ornaments. Oh, it's nice to have your kids sleep in, I agree. I don't have to worry about that anymore, but when I had littles, I was always grateful for when they would sleep in. Even though I only birthed one, I raised 6 kids. I'm not really happy with that image, and I don't think that putting more embossing on it is really going to help, so I think we may just stamp that one again. Yeah, we're going to stamp that one again. So we don't want no jankiness in our holiday cards. This is stamping with the Versamark. It is a great ink for embossing with. And there are some of our other inks that are also, you can emboss over the top of. I was trying to remember what colors it was that we were playing with the other day, and we were embossing just a little bit, but it was one of the blues. It was really grabbing onto the blues, and I thought that would be really cool to emboss with the clear over the top of the blue. All right, that one looks much better. We'll emboss that one. This is all Stampin' Up, hun. Every bit of it. I saw in one of your photos that you have the new cut and emboss machine. How are you liking that? So now we're going to emboss this one and that one. There it goes. It's so much fun to watch. Yeah, it's good, right? I'm waiting for the little one. I really, really want the little one so that I have something I can pack back and forth to the Mercantile. And if I had some of my other punches out here, we could have punched like a label tag out for our deck the halls, but I think I'm gonna like it just like it is, so that'll be good. This one I want, it's going to be a little bit of a banner across the top. And I think we might even do some stamping alongside of those too. So we need to get rid of just a scotch because that's an actual measurement in my house. And the scotch, an official scotch is the width of the dark part here from the center to the other side of it. That's a scotch. All right, and then we're going to center that across our card. So we're going to make this 5.5, but we do want to, and 2.5 would be halfway. So we're going to cut this. We're centering it here on our Merry Christmas, and then cutting it there. We'll flip it around, put that at 5.5, and that should center us, but it doesn't because I did the math wrong. All right, well, we're at 5.5 now, and we're going to run with this. And I think it'll be okay anyway. Let's take off 1/4 of an inch here. Because sometimes the vision in my head and the vision that we actually end up with are two different things, and that's okay. It's okay to make adjustments on the fly. There's very little that you can't come back from when you're crafting. So Cole's back inside, and what you have missed while you've been gone is a whole lot of people saying they all want you to do a teach. And I just I just heard him breathe out one of those sighs that means I didn't stay outside long enough.
Skosh is a word. It is in Merriam-Webster.
Oh, it's in the dictionary?
It is
Perfect.
Skosh.
Yes, scotch. All right, so that one is ready to put together. This one, of course, everything kind of moved around on us a little bit, but that's okay. It's going to go across the top. So I'll just move things accordingly. Like so. All right, so we're going to stick these down with our favorite adhesives, whatever that might be. For me this morning, it's going to be Stamp and Seal. Make sure that you get them oriented the way that you wanted them to. Because this isn't a good time to go, oh crap, that's not what I wanted. But you know, like Jen said, sometimes cards create themselves. My score line there. Alright, we're going to pop that up with some dimensionals. And I have left just enough to get underneath that. Okay. And before we stuck that down, I should have put my cord on there. I think we'll go ahead and just do that with a glue dot.
Oh, go you.
Oh, I love that pick tool.
I haven't used it for glue dots yet. Did not even occur to me.
There we go. All right. We don't know quite how long that's going to be yet. About like so. And then I'm going to tuck it underneath there with a glue dot. And it will require some finagling, but that's okay. All right, we can pop that up with some dimensionals too. All right, now that one is ready for our inside panel. So let's go ahead and turn our attention to this one for just a minute. Now that we've got these just exactly the way I wanted them, we're going to move it. Because that's what I do. Do things over and over again. You got snow flurries this morning. Oh my gosh. We've had our first snow. It always snows here before Halloween. But it did not stick. And I'm so glad for that. I'm kind of thinking on this one, if we're going to run all of our cords up. Let's go ahead and build them. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and build them on here first, because some of them are going to be straight onto the paper, and then other ones will be raised up. So we kind of got to do it as we go. And I think I'll just go ahead and cut some lengths of the gold twine. I like using the glue dots with this gold twine because you can kind of fray it out at the ends and get it to stick more, has more surface contact. And then maybe another glue dot on that one too.
Do you still have a picture in your head of where you have them?
I do.
I have to take a picture with my phone and then reference it.
Alright, I could have swore I put 2 glue dots on that one, and there's only one. There we go. Alright. Now this one we're going to pop up with our dimensionals. And then we're also going to put our gold twine on there. I don't want 2, just 1. Do you guys hear that? That is the wind howling at my house today. That's one thing that is really hard about living here, is the wind that blows so much of the time. And it's not like, you know, a gentle, enjoyable breeze either. It is it is wind that comes howling out of the mouth of the canyon to the south of us and just goes straight across the valley. All right, now I don't know where we had that, but we're just going to make do. Yeah, that's going to be cute. All right, now over here, we're going to do the same thing. Tack that one down. Yeah, we can't even have our big wind chimes out. I would have everybody in the whole town mad at me. I've got some that are like 4-foot chimes that and my dad just made me one out of oxygen containers that he uses for his acetylene torch. He's like, sis, look, I made you some huge wind chimes. And I'm like, oh my God, you're going to have everybody in this whole valley mad at me if I put those out. But they are really cool and they sound beautiful. But I keep them at their house and I just walk by and like tap on them when I'm there, listen to them. My dad is an artist too, but he works with metal and he's a blacksmith. So he does some really cool things. And to him, it's not art, it's just, puttering around in his shop. All right, now we're going to just fold all of those over the back. Yeah, this is so much easier when we've got 5 of them to do than it was when we folded over one. I kind of think we're going to do it this way. All right, there's what it looks like from the front. That's what I had in my head. Well, let's add some more Stampin' Seal so that we can stick this down. I don't want to get too close to the ones that I have dimensionals on. I don't like to crush my dimensionals down. Let's see. All right, and now this is going to float up here at the top. Might even let that other one do that. I don't know. That one I think should have some string on it if we float it over the top though, huh? Wonder if we can get underneath that and get it just enough more. I think we can. All right, let's give that some dimensionals. Remember to give your sentiment bar extras in the middle. Nobody wants a saggy sentiment. Well, thanks, Erica. This has been in my head for a couple of days, and it's like, I gotta get it on paper. Ever since I opened the box that had this set in it, it's like, this is the card that I was seeing. Sometimes you just gotta let those out. There we go on that one. So this one's ready for our inside too. We're gonna do that with Very Vanilla because that's easy to write on. And we're going to need, I think I've got enough to do 2 here. So our cards are 4 1/4 this way from the score to the bottom. So we want it to be just a little bit less than that. So I'll do like 4 1/8. And I don't think that's quite wide enough. Oh, look at that. We're actually going to be able to get 2 of them out of that little scrappy piece. All right, and it's 5 1/2, so let's go to about 5 3/8. Yeah, 5 3/8. Okay, and I think that we should do a pretty on the inside because I love doing that with cards. And let's go ahead and pull in, where's my marker go? Since we've done our card bases with the peacock. Well, actually, we could go ahead. Let's pull in the mossy meadow. And maybe our little ornament. All right, and I've showed you guys dimension or generational or Stampin' Off before, and you can see I was showing it last night too. So remember what that is you've got your first impression and your second impression. They get successively lighter. And I think for this, I'm going to go ahead and use the second one. But we can use our first one on our envelopes too, because I always decorate the envelopes. You need to grab the envelopes. All right. I didn't grab the vanilla envelopes. Would you grab the vanilla envelopes? Thanks. I'm so used to grabbing white ones. I was on autopilot there. I'm glad you like it, Heather. And you know, it looks fancy, but you got to watch how it was put together. It's really pretty simple. There we go. There's our pretty vanilla envelopes. All right, do we want an ornament on the back or on the front? I'm thinking on these on the front. And the post office is really frowny about any decoration in this area. So when you stamp on the front, you always want to go in this corner. But the back of it is wide open. You can do whatever you want back there. So we'll just do one here, and then on our inside, and kind of make it look like it's hanging off a little bit. I like that. All right. I love heat embossing too, Jen. I would heat emboss all day long. It is so much fun to watch the embossing powder melt and spread. All right, so it's just as simple as running some of your Stampin' Seal on this inside piece and cheapen it down. And then you've got a nice light surface that you can write on. And if you're going to write a lot, you can totally put more of it up there too. That for holiday cards, we're all kind of rushed a little bit, and probably happy holidays from us and the kitties are what's going to get written inside here. If you have a sentiment that you want to stamp, totally go for that too. All right, so here is our first card with its envelope. And the second one is coming right up. And was anybody other than me thrown this morning by daylight savings time? It's like, I don't know why I was thinking that that was next weekend. And I got up and it's like all of my analog clocks are saying it's an hour different. Because of course the first thing I'm looking at is my phone, which changed on its own. And then the rest of the clocks in my house are going, no, it's a different time completely. It's like, oh man. All right, there we go. There are our cards for today's Cards and Coffee.
So pretty.
And my crazy cats were pretty cool this morning, so except for Yoda joining us earlier. We love that. Right, I'm gonna flip things around here again. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. This was a lot of fun this morning. I really appreciate all of you hanging out. And I will get the supply list made up for this. I still owe you a supply list for last weekend too. And once that's set, remember we were working with the pre-release on the Curvy Christmas. And once that's released and I can make you a supply list for that one, I will go back and do it. All right. You guys, thank you so much. I love you all. Have a fantastic Sunday.